In this video, we're looking at logarithmic functions. So a logarithmic function is just y equals log a, for example, some sort of base, x. Usually we're going to be dealing with just normal logs, such as like log to the base 10 or natural log, which is ln. So the logarithmic function is just the inverse function of an exponential. So its domain is from 0 to infinity, and its range is from negative infinity to infinity. Now, because x is greater than 0, the curve is always going to be on the right side of the y-axis. So it means it's not crossing the y-axis at all. There's no y-intercept. Now, in this case, the y-axis is also the asymptote, and the x-intercept is always 1 because log a 1 equals 0. So I'm going to start with how do you sketch these kind of graphs? So for example, here we have y equals log e x negative 1. So I'm just going to move this down so we have some room to do some working out. And we want to sketch it. So how I would go about this is, in the blue square, what you're going to do is you're going to go on the calculator, y equals... Now I've picked these x values. You can pick a different range if you want. You're not limited to these numbers. ln 1, take away 1. And that equals negative 1. So negative 1 goes in there. Next, if we focus on green, we're going to have y equals ln 2 negative 1, and that equals negative 0.3. If we go to orange, we end up with y equaling ln 3 minus 1, 0.1. And then lastly, y equals ln 4 minus 1, 0.4. Okay, so now that we've got those, we can plot those points on our graph. So if I say that's 1, that's negative 1, we can go 1, 2, 3, and let's say we extend the line out here to 4. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot those points. So that blue one, so we said when x was 1, y was negative 1, so down here. The green dot, when x was 2, we had negative 0.3, so approximately there, 0.1, and lastly 0.4. All right, so this is going to look something like that. All right, so you can sketch them. If you wanted a more detailed graph, you would use different numbers. You could go 1, 3, 5, 7. You could go 1, 5, 10 to get a more detailed plot the points further across. But essentially what's a good idea is to just go through, do a table of values, plot those points down. You can also use the skills from an exponential video that we created where you do your horizontal translations, vertical translations, and then apply those to the original logarithmic graph.